Hello friends, in this video I will try to explain very useful result, that is intermediate value theorem, and few other consequence of this result. So initially I will state an important algorithm which is known as the bisection method, which is very useful tool for computer programming to find a solution of a equation fx equals to 0 where f is a continuous function. So that means we are trying to find some tricks to locate the roots of a continuous function by means of a sign change. So in this case we have to use the bisection method. So that means initially we will choose 2 points, and in the next step we will bisect that interval. That means if we choose 2 points a and b, then in the next step we will compute the midpoint a plus b by 2, and we will check whether the functional sign is positive or negative in the prescribed interval or prescribed subinterval. So initially this theorem is known as Bolzano's theorem. So this theorem states that suppose capital I equals to a closed and bounded interval ab, and we are considering a function f from ab to r. Then if fa and fb are of opposite signs, then there exists some alpha in the open interval ab, so that f alpha will be 0. That means if the functional values at extreme points, that is fa and fb, are of opposite signs, then this theorem ensures the existence of some point in the open interval such that the functional value is 0. So how can we prove this result? So without loss of generality, we can assume that if A is negative and if B is positive, then clearly F and FB will be of opposite signs. Now you will form a sequence of successive intervals. So in the first step, we will consider interval I1, which will be denoted by A1 B1. So this is nothing but the original interval AB, and we will compute the midpoint of this interval. So let's call the midpoint as xi1. So xi1 will be the midpoint of the interval ab, or precisely a1 b1. So if xi1 is if xi1 is 0, then there is no issue, result will be proved. But in case of non-zero value, so if xi1 is positive, then we will choose another subinterval I2 as a1 xi1. That means if the sign of if xi1 is positive, then we will choose the first subinterval, first sub portion, that is a1 xi1. And similarly, if we get if xi1 as negative value, then we will choose the next sub portion, that is xi1 b1. So according to the sign change, we will consider the subinterval. Then clearly we will get some I2, and already in the first step we have considered a subinterval I1. So clearly I1 is bigger than the I2, and also if A2 will be negative and if B2 will be positive according to our assumption. So now if we similarly compute the midpoint xi2 of the interval I2 and so on, then after certain stage we will find a nested sequence of intervals, nested sequence of interval in, that means the intervals a and bn. where the suffix n varies over n, and clearly the functional value at left extremum, that is fan, will be negative, and the right extremum fbn will be positive according to our assumption. Now here note one thing, that length of the each interval is clearly b minus a by 2 to the power n minus 1, because initially the interval is ab. So the length of each interval in will be b minus a, that is the difference divided by the number of steps, that is b minus a by 2 to the power n minus 1. Now what will be the step 3? Step 3 will be that according to nested interval property, we know that there exists some unique point alpha in the nth subinterval a and bn, such that the limit of an will be alpha and limit of bn will be alpha. And also, since f is continuous on ab, it must be continuous at that point alpha. So clearly limit f of an will be f of alpha, and limit f of bn will be f of alpha. So let's call this relation as 1. Also, we know that f of an is negative and f of bn is positive. So if we apply limit in each side, then we will find limit f of an less than 0 less than limit f of bn, which implies that f of alpha is less than 0 less than f of alpha. So that means f of alpha must be 0, precisely 0, and so this alpha is our required point in the open interval ab. So this alpha meets our requirement. So this bisection algorithm gives the basic idea of the location of the roots of a continuous function in a closed interval. Here the Bolzano theorem has been described through this diagram. So initially there is the first interval, which is denoted as I1 or as A1B1. So A1B1 is nothing but the original interval AB. So I have marked those points, A1 as A and B1 as B. So according to bisection method, first I will try to compute the midpoint, what I have named as xi1. So xi1 is precisely a1 plus b1 by 2, that is the midpoint. So this is the first step. For the second step, we have to consider another interval or subinterval I2, which will be denoted as a2b2. So in this case, a2 will be the previous point a1 and b2 will be either xi1. So this is the subcase 1, because according to the sign of f xi1, we will choose the subinterval, first subinterval or second subinterval. So in case of if xi1 positive, we will choose the first subinterval, so that a2 will be a1 and b2 will be xi1. But for case of negative, we will choose the next subportion. In that case, a2 will be xi1 and b2 will be simply previous b1. So in both case, I have to compute again the midpoint of this interval, of this subinterval. So that means I have to compute the midpoint xi2. So xi2 will be a2 plus b2 by 2, where a2 and b2 will be dependent on xi1 or the values of xi1, so that we will choose b2 as xi1 or b2 as b1. So that's the dependency of the sign of function. So in this case, if we continue this process after finite number of steps, then we will get I1, I2, I3, In and so on. So clearly I1 will be the bigger one, I2 will be smaller one, and if we continue this process in number of times, then clearly In will be the smallest interval. So if we continue the number of steps bigger, then we will get the smaller subinterval. So that I have mentioned that the nth interval will be bigger than the n plus 1th interval, n plus 1th subinterval, because this is the basic idea of nested interval, nested sequence of interval. And according to nested interval property, we know that in the nth subinterval there exist some unique point, so that the limit an will be alpha and limit bn will be alpha, and the sign and f of an will be negative and f of bn will be positive according to our assumption. So this is the basic idea of Bolzano theorem. So this theorem gives the basic idea to locate the roots of a continuous function by the help of sign change and using the algorithm of bisection method, which you will find in different contexts. You will find in numerical analysis, you will find in any programming consequence and whatever. So this is the basic idea of Bolzano theorem, and in the next part I will describe intermediate value theorem, which I will prove through the help of Bolzano theorem. So thanks a lot.